Next thing you want to have no less than 5 trade lines. What is a trade line, Derek Whitehead? Trade line is when somebody is giving you credit card, car, house, installment lines, furniture, whatever. It's a trade line. You shouldn't have less than 5. And now, how big is your trade line? You should never have anything less than $10,000. Next thing is how old is your trade line? It should never be less than 2 years old. And some people say, well, I'll just go get me some authorized users. Sorry, when you're talking about funding a corporation or a company, they don't care about authorized users. They want to see your credit. They call those primaries. Authorized users, when somebody comes in and lets you get on their credit and it builds your credit up because it looks like it's your credit. You're authorized to be on their credit. Now, they should never be over 30% on their credit, because if they are, it's going to mess your credit up because it looks like they're living off their credit. So never go over 30% on your credit. So next thing, I said, if you go in and you say, I need $100,000 on a corporation because I want to buy a car. Well, you can actually buy business trade lines. We can put $25,000 to $2 million on your corporation on anywhere you want them. So the bank will say, oh, somebody gave you a $100,000 installment line. We'll give you $150,000 because somebody already gave you some. And we put them on the right way, which is what they call reassignment of the debt. That means bankers that we know, Dylan's daddy's worth $4 billion. John, his partner's daddy's worth $2 billion. All they do is buy $100, $200, $300 million worth of debt every damn month. And they buy all kinds of debt because the people are not paying it. So they buy it for pennies on the dollar, corporate debt. So they own it now. So they can reassign it from the person who's not paying it, non-performing note. The person not paying it, they can go put it on your corporation and report it directly to the bureaus. Who's going to teach you this on the internet? Nobody. So the real way to put this on your credit report when you're buying corporate trade lines online, make sure that you know these are the real way, because they're selling you a bunch of junk. So there's something called piggybacking. The only true way to put corporate trade lines on is called reassignment of the debt. Write this stuff down. Now, if you go to a guy and say, I could put trade lines on your corporation, you know what they do? They set up 5 corporations, him and his wife and his son, whatever, and then they put an ad out, we could put trade lines on. And then they go out and they report it to the bureaus. Yes, we lent them $100,000. Then his wife said, yes, we lent him $100,000. Different corporation. Then the son, yeah, we lent him $100,000. Let me look that record up. Yeah. And they put it on your credit report. But guess what? I was a banker. So I know that there's a portal that the banks can go in. And sometimes every 5 to 6 loans, they will pull and do desktop funding. Out of 100, every 5 to 6, they will pull and say, let's take a look at these. A person look at them. Now you're in trouble if you're doing piggybacking, because they're not stupid. They're going to say, wait a minute, how this person got $100,000 on his trade line, on his corporation, and it ain't never being paid down? That's piggybacking, because who is going to have $100,000 and never use it or never pay it down? That's a clear indication of paying piggybacking. Then they're going to red flag your company. You can still do business, but it's not about the business and the money you're making. It's about building the company and how big it is. So watch out for piggybacking. If they cannot put that credit wherever you want it, I'll put this on Equifax. Bruh, I'm looking for cars. Can you put this on Small Business Finance Exchange? No. Is it going to be paid down? No. Well, then you don't say nothing. Don't let them know you know, but you say, man, that's piggybacking. Derek Whitehead taught me piggybacking. You don't want that. You want reassignment of the debt. Now, company is one of 2 that I know of that can do actual reassignment of the debt. Go Metro 2 system and report it directly to the bureaus, and there's nothing they can do about it. All right. So business trade lines, get yourself your corporation, get yourself your FICO, not your score, your FICO straight, get your corporation straight, understand the 5 business bureaus where you want to go and get what you want to get, and then get yourself some trade lines. And you can get them without getting money without trade lines. It only helps to get more. When you buy a shelf corporation, the primary trade lines you mentioned, is that an extra expense on top of the cost of the shelf corporation? If yes, could it provide an estimate of the appropriate cost? Well, our people that sell trade lines are investment bankers, and they buy millions of dollars of debt a month. Like Dylan's daddy is worth like $4 billion. John's daddy is worth like $2 billion. All they do is fly around the world, have fun, and buy corporate debt. 100, 200 million a month. So the debt that they sell is cheaper than an authorized user. So for $100,000 worth of debt is like $4,000. You can't buy $100,000 authorized user. Nobody has a personal $100,000 authorized user credit card. If you buy a $50,000 authorized user, that's not even your credit, somebody else's credit that you're using, that might cost you about $3,000. A $50,000 line. So imagine what's going to cost for a $100,000 authorized user, AU. This is a primary, and not a primary for personal, but a primary for your corporation, which gives you higher lines. You can't find it. And if you do, it's usually not the right way. They're about $100,000 worth of credit as though you've already bought it for like 4 points, $4,000. So if you buy 50,000, then it's $2,000. If you buy $25,000, then it's $1,000. Just do the math. We don't sell anything under 25,000, and they go up to $2 million that they can put on your court. So say, for instance, you want to go buy an apartment complex. Just look up a guy named Coach Hinton on Instagram. He's selling apartment complexes. I was his mentor. So you go in and say, Derek Whitehead, your mentor says to say hi. He'll say, oh, tell Derek I said hi. He's on there selling apartment complexes. Very smart brother. So that's what we do. So you do the math, it's 4 points on $100,000. So if you bought $100,000 on your PayNet, already bought a car on your PayNet, why wouldn't they give you that Benz? Somebody already gave you $100,000, paid down to like $5,000. And every month paying it down more and more and more. So that's not piggybacking, that's real credit somebody gave you. Okay?